Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Oh my days, it has been a very, very funny kind of day. It's been a lot of celebration. It's been a mixed bag, actually. A lot of celebration, a lot of congratulations. Did you guys see the outpouring of love for Prince Harry on his birthday? I was so happy. It was so much louder than last year's. Not that there weren't people that wished Prince Harry happy birthday last year, but I think because he has met so much more people in his work with Archwell and his connections, new connections he has made last year, I think that it was so much louder. It was literally like Twitter was shaking because it was Harry's birthday. I was so happy for him. It was even to the point that even the royal family had to wish Prince Harry happy birthday because he was trending in like two or three places on Twitter. But let's be real, you know that the royal family are not wishing Harry happy birthday because they have suddenly changed their positions. No, they are just probably trying to beat the Spencer family. They thought perhaps that the Harry had arranged for the Spencer family to wish him a happy birthday, and they didn't want to be left out the same way it happened when Harry came to the UK for the 10th anniversary of Invictus. And it didn't hurt that it always benefits anyone who is on social media to jump on any trending issue, which, they seem to have been doing more and more of in recent times. So yeah, they jumped into the fray, wished Harry and Meghan a happy birthday. Wished Prince Harry a happy birthday. And I'm so glad to see that the world showed up for Prince Harry in a huge way. It's undeniable. Anyone who is anyone on social media today saw that the whole world was wishing Harry a happy birthday. And I just love to see it. But of course, the usual media suspects weren't going to let that slide. And that's where things got messy. So let's get into the conversation, shall we? But before we do, hello, everyone. Welcome to Isabella Banks YouTube channel. I'm Wizzy, and it is so great to be here. I love days like this when there's something momentous happening in Sussex world where everyone comes out to celebrate the Sussexes in one way or the other, even among the squaddies. Do you know how many spaces there were on Twitter today? Spaces, for those who are not on Twitter, spaces are where people come together to have discussions. It's almost like a live stream, but in the spaces, like people have the opportunity to speak. Though you have that here, but you literally have to be handed an invitation when you're doing the live stream, whereas it just seemed easier, I think, on Twitter for a community to have a conversation. It's easier to have a conversation with voices speaking to each other than it is to have a conversation, I think, in my opinion, on a live stream. But yeah, there are so many spaces. There was the Jamaican one, there was the Nigerian one, there were several American ones. I was just bopping from one space to the other, enjoying all the music and the good stuff. And I was on there a few minutes before I came on here. And at the moment, people are currently watching the Emmy Awards. So, good stuff. Well, as I was saying, the haters um, could not contain themselves. As soon as Harry started receiving all the love, Dan Wootton lost his rag, upset that the Daily Mail weren't doing enough to tear Prince Harry down. It's quite interesting to see how invested the media are in the feud and the breakdown of the relationship continuing. I was speaking to someone, I forget who it was I was talking to, and not to start a debate or anything, this is just my own perspective, okay? This issue with the royal family that Harry had, they are rubbish. Please note that I have said that the royal family are rubbish. King Charles, we all know he was a rubbish father, a rubbish husband. William was a rubbish brother. The environment breeds them into what they are and how they behave. But the real problem, in my opinion, that Harry has right now, which made him his life unbearable, almost unbearable, should I say, is the media. If there were 100 pins inside a box, 80 of those pins belong to the media. They are the ones who chase him down. A lot of people say, well, it's the royal family who sets the media onto Harry. I think that two things can be true at the same time. One, it's the royal family are not that invested, to be honest. They don't really have anything much to gain for it. A lot of this issue has been magnified because of the court cases that Prince Harry has against the Daily Mail. If the media were out of it, Harry would still have a problem, undoubtedly, but it would be less by at least 80%. And Harry had already gotten used to dealing with the royal family. He knows them in and out, and he got to know them even more after he stepped back from working as a senior royal, because he now began to see the shark side of them, the dangerous side of them, after he stepped back, because they used that energy against him. But because he is also spare to William, they would go far, but they would not be able to go all the way. And that's simply because if anything happened to William, there is really no one outside of Harry who could stand in for William. And so they would want, what they want is to bring Harry to his knees more than getting rid of him physically. So the main problem that Harry has at the moment is the media. And this is the reason why when he wrote The Spare, he focused his attention on the media. And a lot of the breakdown in the relationship that he had with his family was because of the media, because of the court cases, because his family had gone and compromised themselves with the media. And so they started running and advocating for the media against Harry. This is not to say that they don't have their own issues behind the scenes, but it was all the way magnified because of the court cases. This is the reason why Dan Wootton has been wilding out today. He has been proper wilding out, literally losing his mind in the public space. Okay, so even the Daily Express, can you see? They appeared. Let's look at this headline. Royal fans respect gracious Prince William's decision to mark Harry's 40th birthday. It's almost like they're giving Prince William permission to extend birthday wishes to his own brother. Why would the Daily Express feel the need to write this headline if it weren't from the perspective of which I am talking? Well, as I said, the media jumped on the royal family's birthday wish, trying to insinuate that the royal family were extending an olive branch to Prince Harry. And of course, if they're extending an olive branch to Prince Harry, Harry is not singular anymore. He is married, and therefore it's an olive branch to Harry and Meghan. Well, I don't really think so. No, 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 no. It's all for the as they used to say in the days, it's all for the gram. It's all for the social media. It's they were thinking that the Spencers were going to send Harry a public birthday wish, and they didn't want to be left out and made to look as stupid as they looked when Harry came to the UK for the 10th anniversary. And even if it was an olive branch, personally, I would think that we would need a little bit more than that. How about an actual apology? Restoring Harry's security, not that Harry would ever rely on any security they provide, but that's not the point. It's the principle of the thing for Harry. And then if they got on a plane and went to America, oh my days, then I would know that they were really serious about reconciling. But do we see that coming? Maybe when pigs fly. Until then, we all know that this is just more smokes and mirrors. Until then, we know that this is just smokes and mirrors. Yeah. Speaking of PR disasters, let can we? I know I've been talking about it, and that's mainly because I was trying to catch up with all the news that I had missed. So I have done videos on Kate and William's Hallmark level cringe fest. When the media got wind of the disaster that was their little video, Kensington Palace, they sent out their minions in droves to go and mop up the situation, handing out ridiculous excuses like, oh, we were just trying to defend our marriage against those rumors put out by Harry and Meghan. Uh, I almost wish, but I know that Harry and Meghan are not going to be attending to that. But I thought that was a very bold thing to say in writing that it was Harry and Meghan that put out those rumors because the person who wrote it could be sued. Anyway, we all know that the media have been leading up to the negative reporting because they wanted to ruin Harry's birthday more or less. Let's just say things the way they are. And so they started off with so many stories, and I think Kate and William also knew that Harry and Meghan would take the spotlight because it's of Harry's birthday, and they were trying to break the internet with that video. That's part of what they were trying to achieve. Are we still talking about the video now? No, we're talking about Harry. So they didn't succeed. Um, but they started off with this. Do you right guys remember this story when they were talking about how much the cost of Harry and Meghan's tour in Colombia cost? And it was very surprising, wasn't it, to see Newsweek coming out in defense of Harry and Meghan, saying Harry and Meghan's Colombia tour cost less than King's train ride. I was like, what? Since when the Newsweek? Because we all noticed that the Newsweek had become kind of tabloidy in recent times. But in any case, the Sussex Squad Detective Agency push back against that. I think it was Daily Mirror. I think this. Oh no, this is a Daily Express article where they were talking about the cost of the Colombian tour. They pushed back against it by saying King Charles gets nearly 60 million pay rise as Prince William brings in 30 million income. Royal report reveals. Now, technically, as I have discussed many a time on this channel, it's not really a pay rise if you know the ins and outs of royal finances. But obviously, the royal family are very sensitive about it. So it's a perfect thing to lob them over the head with. And it definitely hits a nerve all the time with the public, which the royal family are keen to avoid. So anytime you bring that up, it kind of makes them freeze or slow down whatever it is they were trying to do. And but we're not done yet. The media now they began to obsess over whether Harry and Meghan will be invited over for Christmas, or if they're going to snub the royal family to spend the time with the Spencers instead. And that cue the usual annual holiday showdown, of which I'm sure this is just genuine speculation. Harry and Meghan are going to do whatever it is the hell they want to do. Um, and if that means spending time with the Spencers, then that's what they're going to do. They are no longer really interested. What I love about this phase that Harry and Meghan are at is that they are walking and talking free men and women, free man and woman, and they're living their lives accordingly. The next thing the media tried to attack them with was speculation about the viability of their Netflix deal. According to them, if the Netflix deal falls through, then the Sussexes are going to be broke. Seriously? Even if the deal goes sideways, Harry's inheritance from his grandmother, which is estimated to be about £7 million, means that they're not going to be scrounging for cash anytime soon. Everybody and their cats knows this. So this is just another way to bring speculation into the finances of Harry and Meghan. Just another way to embarrass them, to make them uncomfortable in the public. And then came the news that Harry and Meghan's head of communication, Christine Will Shermer, stepped down. Cue the media meltdown. They were quick to suggest that it was a sign of doom for the Sussexes. Meanwhile, they downplayed the fact that the Wales's PR guru, Lee Thompson, has also left his post. Funny how that works, isn't it? hmm But really, can you blame Thompson? William and Kate haven't done much this year. So, what is a PR guru supposed to be doing when his clients are not working? Also, with the PR failures that we have seen, it's quite clear that Kate and William don't take advice, because William's whole agenda is just centered about around making sure that Harry submits to him. That's it. So, for instance, if William decided that he was going to ignore Harry and focus on his projects, all of this nonsense that goes on on social media in the news would also reduce. But because William is such an insecure, ugly man in and out, he feeds into this rubbish. And unfortunately for him, whatever agreement he made with the media doesn't allow him to step out of it. And just when you thought that the media, right, couldn't step any lower, they hit us with this gem. Did you guys see this story? Did you see this story? Meghan Markle threatens Prince William in new royal family poll ranking. Meghan's just out here minding her business. And somehow that is a threat to someone. As this person said on Twitter, look at this dangerous Express headline. The British media really need independent oversight because this is unacceptable and designed to put Meghan at risk. And these articles are part of the reason why, I just decided that although we make some impact when we push back against these stories online, but we need to go beyond just the online pushback, and we need to really rally for legal change, like pressure the government for legal change, and it is actually doable. It's actually doable. We could hide our head in the sand and pretend like Harry and Meghan are not going through a lot of challenges just to stand up straight and smile in our faces when the cameras are turned on them. But this is what they're dealing with on a daily basis, which means that if we have to, can you imagine what it takes for you who are listening to me to get up on a daily basis? Think about how much energy Harry and Meghan have to put in to do the simplest things in their day. So yeah, that's what kind of motivated me to go beyond uh that's what to go beyond the online pushback. Meanwhile, Prince Harry is over here making moves. He won the right to appeal the decision to deny him security in the UK with the court date set for April 2025. And you guys remember the Freedom of Information case about Harry's visa application. So that's case closed. But a lot of these stories that the media were putting out, it was to cover the fact that these good things were happening for Harry and Meghan. Yeah. Anyway, the Freedom of Information closing is exactly the outcome we wanted. Even though my nosy side, I wouldn't have minded having a little bit more information, but the outcome was sealed. The judgment was sealed. So we didn't really understand what really happened in that case eventually, but it was sealed to my dismay. But yeah, um that case has now been resolved for the benefit of Harry. And so you know that these people are back in whatever hole that they use as a war room to think of what next they can do to Harry. And they did come up with something, and we're going to discuss that in this video. But then let's talk about Bryony Gordon's article where she said, "What my friends Prince Harry and Meghan are really like," reveals Bryony Gordon, who has been to their house and was given a pot of homemade jam. Now, where she wrote this article and it was kind of factual, and a lot of people were praising her, but I found something really odd in the article she wrote. She mentioned that she had been gifted a jar of Meghan's jam, but she made sure to add that she conveniently left it in the cab. Why? I thought to myself, why would you even add that? Because if something like that happened, you wouldn't want your host to know that you lost the jam they gifted you. And then it made sense to me that she's just trying to distance herself away from Meghan because she knows everyone hates Meghan, and she doesn't want to make it seem as though she is over friendly with Meghan and that she went there for Harry alone, which means you didn't go there for anybody at all. Which means you didn't go there for anyone at all. But yeah, I think it was really subtle, but it was there that she wasn't really. I hope. I hope Harry doesn't think that she's a friend, because she's not a friend. She's not a friend at all. But let's not dwell on that, because although I've looked at her and I didn't trust her, I didn't trust her article, but Dan Wootton has not been having a good time at all. He's not been having a good time, because that video of Kate and William was supposed to break the internet, but it had the opposite effect. And then now he's come onto the internet today and he's seen that the Daily Mail uh, were writing positive stories about Harry. And then he says the Daily Mail has fallen, literally poached an awful columnist from the Daily Telegraph to run puff pieces on Prince Harry, who is suing their asses off to try and get the madman to see sense. Pathetic. He has just been he's just been spitting bile and vitriol. I really feel sorry for him, because it seems like every time I hear about him, he never has anything good to say. And just to ruin Harry's birthday, they planted an article in the Hollywood Reporter claiming Meghan was a bully and her nickname is Duchess Difficult. This is not new. This is coming from her time in the UK, which is why I think I I wish that they were able to get the royal family to litigate. They should have demanded that they try that case, because now them not trying the case has given the media ammunition to use against Meghan, based on opinion, based on rumors. And freedom of speech allows anyone to say whatever they like to say if they're giving an opinion, right? And in this case, they are saying a staff member says, and they're not giving their source, because journalists are allowed to have and protect their sources. And he says Meghan is a dictator who terrifies staff, has reduced grown men to tears. Anyway, they were not expecting the response that they got, though. They were not, they were expecting that this article was going to make people go, oh, Meghan is a bully. We heard that from the UK already. And then what happened? This person on Twitter said, Meghan Markle, I would like to have a meeting with you so we can go over some of the points I brought up last week. Grown men starts crying. Let me say that again, because I don't feel like it landed properly. So someone is imagining that this is what Meghan says to the grown men who are supposedly on her team. Meghan Markle. So this is her about to say something to the grown men. I would like to have a meeting with you so we can go over some of the points I brought up last week. And then this person says, grown men, starts crying. Meanwhile, there's this person who on Twitter who just said, reducing grown men to tears. I'm afraid all I can do is stand. This tweet went viral because it is literally the issue that every strong woman in the workplace has to deal with. That when you try to be emphatic and decisive in your role, then people say that you're a dictator, you're aggressive, you're terrifying people, so on and so forth. If you look below, you will see that the tweet got 101 likes. Literally the definition of viral. Yeah. And uh, and then the media, but here's one thing that we have observed, okay? When all else fails, then they try to attack Harry through Meghan, right? It's their go-to move. And when that didn't work, Dan Wootton really started to lose it. I don't have the tweet, but I saw it at one point. I kept looking for it, but I lost it. Where Dan Wootton then said that why are the Daily Mail writing anything positive about Harry? Because Harry had called William a violent person and called Kate a bitch. Harry did no such thing. It's Dan Wootton who is now calling Kate and William names. So imagine this. You are supposed to have Dan Wootton on your side. You're supposed to have Piers Morgan on your side. Yet it's Piers Morgan who called Kate and King Charles racists and then blamed Harry for it. And then it's Dan Wootton who said the calls are coming from inside the house. It's Dan Wootton who says, who is now calling Kate a bitch and then calling William a violent person. Next thing you know, they are going to confess and tell us. Next thing you know, they are going to confess and tell us that there was no real cancer and that the rose bush is a real thing, real thing, and that William is a member of the LGBTQ community. Next thing you know, this is what we're going to be told, and they are the ones who are going to spill the tea. But here's the thing. Um, oh, and just to set the record straight, Harry and Meghan spent his birthday supporting a charity for children in foster care, not jetting off on some wild boys trip like the media tried to spin. Again. Once again, they were proven wrong after spreading the rumors. And I'm so glad that Harry and Meghan addressed it this way. Although this is obviously something that had been planned for quite a while, because I am going to show you this. So the person who organized this event, Harry and Meghan attended, said, "What an incredible day, full of emotions and lots of love. Our family and friends hosted this year's George Zajfen tennis tournament for the Alliance for Children's Rights, raising funds that will go directly to supporting children in foster care, ensuring that they have the legal protections, resources, and opportunities they deserve in honor of our beautiful son, Georgie. Our community showed up in a big way, and I'm in awe. Get ready for days of posting images of this magical afternoon because I have so many people to thank and shout from the rooftops just how amazing you all are. But first, to our presenting sponsors, the Archwell Foundation, Harry and Meghan, you have been such a guiding light for our family, not just in the way you have shown up in friendship, but how you have shown up through the incredible work the Archwell Foundation does every day. I'm in awe of your commitment to community and to friendship. On behalf of the Alliance for Children's Rights, we thank you. On behalf of our family, we love you. Extra special day too, sorry. Happy 40th birthday, H. May this trip around the sun be the best yet. Love, Kelly, Julian, Lily, and Georgie. Love it. So this was from the event that Harry and Meghan attended today. They were sponsors of the event, actually. It wasn't just an event that they attended. It's in moments like this that we see just how hard the toxic British media is working to overpower Harry and Meghan with negativity. As Harry himself has said, we need to find a way to slay the dragon, and that's exactly what motivates me to keep pushing back against these smear campaigns. I am working on a mission, as you all know, to file a petition at the United Nations and to support the reopening of the Leveson 2 inquiry. The toxic British media, as you can see, is doing everything in its power to annihilate Harry and Meghan's public image. They are doing a good job trying to fight back, but the pushback is just about even. They haven't overtaken the media, and I'm sure that they're going through a lot behind the scenes that they're not able to discuss with us, with us, the public or the squad. So, if you want to support this mission, please make sure to join the channel membership. Okay, not only will you help the cause, but you also get exclusive access to the exclusive updates and information about our progress. For the channel members, I'm going to be updating my channel members on progress with my steps towards the UN petition next week, Saturday. Please ensure that you join the channel membership to be a part of that conversation. Okay, so I am going to have a look at the chat. Let me see. Let's see. Netflix will not let Harry and Meghan go because Paramount is also interested. At the opening of Godmothers, both bosses were there. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. That's good to know. Newsweek is now owned by Murdoch, so surprised at the shade thrown at Charles. Me too. I think they have this system where they do 100 negative articles and then try to convince themselves that or try to pretend to the public that they are not being biased by throwing in one neutral article. if not positive article, then going back to being 100% negative. Maybe. I don't know. That's what I think anyway. Cookies and Cream says the Sussexes are surrounded by rich, powerful, loving, loyal people that will never let them fail. The Sussexes will never want or need for anything. The unroyal family knows that. Could be, but I think it would be a mistake to deny the influence of the royal family. Don't forget that some of the rich and powerful men in America, especially those who are MAGA right now, have British roots. Some of the big politicians, the billionaires in America, actually have British ancestry. Wales' PR team is trash, cursing profanities at the Sussexes. I know, right? They are losing their ever loving minds. I think Ari Emmanuel could do a better job managing attacks towards Harry and Meghan. Do you know what? You said my mind. You said my mind. This is exactly what I said when the first article came out on the Hollywood Reporter. Everyone, and you know that guy, Dre? So he came out and said exactly the same thing. And the Sussex squad on Twitter attacked him for saying, Harry and Meghan, they don't need to say anything. They're okay. They're this, they're that, they're that. Harry and Meghan are just human beings. They need help. Okay. People need to stop with this. I know why people say that, and I am with that. But when we're now getting into the practice of, okay, what can we do to help them? We need to really tackle the issue. What is Ari Emmanuel doing? What's the PR team doing? Because obviously, if they're in the working environment and people are spreading false rumors, and they're obviously false, um, that Harry and Meghan are difficult to work with, and they label Meghan Duchess difficult. And you know that in the film world, the creative world, that's not a good thing. Then it will disrupt their reputations in one way or the other. Anyway, so what's Ari supposed to be doing? Is that not part of his job? The people who are supposed to be part of their comms team, is that not part of their job? Um, and what Dre was saying, and I agreed with him, was that the tactic the British media use is they will throw a poisonous article to a small magazine, and then all the larger networks, newspapers will go and pick it up and then quote that small magazine and say, and that's exactly what happened, because they got the Hollywood Reporter to post that poisonous article, and then the New York Post picked it up and quoted the Hollywood Reporter, and quoted the Hollywood and quoted the Daily Mail. So we need to find a way to slay the dragon, more or less. I'm not really hiding my head in the sand does not work for me. I'm just one of those people who cannot do it, and this is the reason why I am working behind the scenes to do something about it. Mm. Uh, He says the article in the Hollywood Reporter was sanctioned by the Royals. It has all the UK talking points. The father of the All Hollywood Reporter has a partnership with Rupert Murdoch. Yep, Rupert Murdoch. But don't forget that the British media are the ones. I'm not saying, as I said at the beginning, we all know that Harry has had his fallout with his family, but the at this point in time, as you can see, when you look at how the British media seem to have been given permission to William to say happy birthday to his father, to Prince Harry, you will see that they have invested interest in making sure that the royal family's broken down relationship is never reconciled. It's very easy to put the royal family in front of all the issues as though they are the ones driving the issue. But a lot of it is that they are using the royal family as a shield because of the court cases. Let's not forget the court cases. The newspapers, they stand to lose a lot because there is every likelihood that if Prince Harry wins the court cases, it would trigger the Levinson 2 inquiry. If it triggers the Levinson 2 inquiry, they are going to be in so much trouble because there is every likelihood that murder could not be able to survive in the UK. The Levinson 2 inquiry will require an investigation into all those, for instance, the Lawrence inquiry, a lot of the underbelly of the UK's old and cold cases will be reopened. This is everything that they're fighting about. It's nothing as petty as the broken down family relationship. This is what I've been trying to tell you guys, and I don't know how else to say it for it to have its impact beyond the way I have said it. So hopefully one day we will have a meeting of minds. Uh, Lorna says no one in Hollywood believes that Meghan is a bully. The world is so small that if she was, she wouldn't have been able to get her acting jobs. Of course, I don't think anyone in Hollywood believes it, but there's just something about a story being repeated over and over again. In our little bubble here, we know all the ins and outs. There are some people who have no interest whatsoever in what's happening with all this royalty. They don't know they don't know any of the stories. They don't know Harry, they don't know Meghan. There's still some people who read these magazines and believe that everything that they're reading is true. So what if someone who is in a decision making role reads this stuff and then believes it, and then it disrupts something that Harry and Meghan were trying to do? Do you really believe that the reason this is what I'm describing has not happened before? I'm sure it has, and this is why the battle continues. The battle of the headlines this week has been really, really fierce between Harry. Harry has done such a marvelous job this week fighting back. He hasn't just left it and said nobody's going to believe it. He has fought back furiously against all the headlines that have come out. Do you think that the Polo release date coming out when it did was just happenstance? Or do you believe that the news of the case coming out when it did was just happenstance? Ari and Meghan are also fighting back with PR moves. Things that happen and the good news that we hear from them don't just happen by coincidence. They happen because Harry and Meghan are working furiously on their PR. And what I'm saying is, if it was a case that they believe that no one will believe it if they heard it, why do they need to work? Why don't you just let people hear whatever and make up their own minds? So guys, if you want to join the mission, please go ahead, join the channel membership, not only because you help the cause, but you will get access to my exclusive updates on the progress that I'm making behind the scenes. And I have been making a lot of progress, and I can't wait till next week when I'm going to be sharing what I have achieved so far. I think that's all I have for you guys today. I'm so glad that I'm finally up to date with all the news. Really, don't fall. I was really, really trying so hard not to bite my hand off because I was dying to get out here and discuss all the latest news and happenings with you guys. But I'm glad that I'm finally up to date with the news. Don't fall for the outrage reporting this week, okay? So I'm going to leave you now until the next video. This is Wheezy signing out. Ciao. Thank you so much to my moderator. Guys, say thank you to Lorna for moderating for me, for agreeing to moderate for me. Thank you so much, Lorna, for participating and encouraging people to like. If you haven't already liked the video, don't check out without liking the video, please. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Until next one, bye now. Bye.